from Investing Across Borders, where we teach you how to live, invest, work, and play across borders, quite literally. And today I'm here with Tricia because we are co-hosting an event in the GTA, the Greater Toronto Area, next week on the 10th. It's actually a week from tonight. And I'm super excited about it because it's going to be the first ever about going global and expanding your global footprint. Because these days, it's not just about going across North America, which both of us have done, and we'll talk about that, but it's about expanding your reach beyond North American borders, looking at amazing opportunities in the Caribbean, which Tricia and I will talk about. So, Tricia, why don't you introduce yourself since this is your platform, and I'm super excited to be here with you.
Lauren, I'm thrilled to be here with you as well. So, my official title is CEO of C-Suite Network, and I'm an owner in that business. As you mentioned, we have the cross-border thing happening. I'm Canadian born and a Canadian citizen, very proudly. And I'm also an American citizen, and I live in Pittsburgh of all places. But actually, I live a little all over because I'm
Yes,
constantly on the
you
road.
really do.
Really, truly, and I love that because the opportunity to meet great leaders that have different opportunities, different solutions, different things that they're working on to create a real difference. That is open and a discussion point every single day here in the C-Suite Network.
Yes, and that's why I've been part of C-Suite Network for I don't know how long. It was definitely during COVID that I originally joined, right? And
Yes.
Trisha and I connected automatically because she's originally from Guelph, Ontario, which is about an hour outside of the Greater Toronto Area. And I grew up in Toronto. And like Trisha, I'm also a dual citizen, although I don't live in Pittsburgh. But I'm going to Pittsburgh in August for the first time because my son is playing baseball for the Maccabia game. So I'm excited about that. And hopefully I'll get to see Trisha in person there.
I think it's a
And
time when I'm actually not here,
oh, yeah,
surprisingly.
yeah, right. We do.
Yeah.
Well, no, wait a minute. It's a time when you're actually not there. Like that's a surprise
Yeah,
because
I know.
how much time do you actually spend in Pittsburgh?
I am on the road 2 to 3 weeks a year,
A
or
week, a month.
2 to 3 weeks a month.
Two,
Yes,
yeah,
at
two to three
least.
weeks a year, more like me. Although I am here in Toronto for 3 weeks right now. So, Trisha, what we are excited about and why we decided to do this together is because everybody's scared, right? Well, not everybody, but a lot of people are scared. They're scared in the US, they want to move to Canada. They're scared in the US, they want to expand their global footprint. They're scared in the US, they don't know if the real estate opportunities are what they used to be. And in Canada, they're just scared because they're like, what are we going to do about the tariffs? How are we going to address them? Like, what's happening? What's next? And what we're here to do together and what we are building together is a way to help you not only overcome those fears, but also look at amazing new opportunities that are out there for the taking. And maybe it's time to open your mind and your horizons. And ironically, it's kind of crazy actually, because I went to this development in Roatan before Trisha's partner, Jeff Hazlett, actually even heard about it. And I went there in March, and I'm sorry, in February with a group of Canadians. It was kind of just a little premature. We just happened to be going on a cruise there, and I took them to see Camp Bay, and I was blown away by it. Following month, I'm on a cruise, a business cruise with a bunch of 450 business owners, one of whom was Mr. Hazlett, Trisha's partner. And Jeff and I knew each other, but these business cruises are incredible because you really get to know people on a deep level. You're stuck with them for 7 days. And in a way, you're really not stuck because you really get to know them in a different level. I got to know Jeff's lovely, amazing wife. And Trisha was there at the end of the cruise and will be going next year. So why is that relevant? So on this cruise so happened to be the two of the principals of this Camp Bay, including Scott Miller, a former MLB player. And Scott and Jeff connected on a level that I had no idea about until about a couple of months ago. And now Jeff is a general partner in this Roatan development. Why is that so important? Because it opens so many doors to opportunities. And Trisha, why don't you share a little this, by the way, why was I blown away? So some of these properties have individual pickleball courts, which, I don't play pickleball, but that's a really big deal. And they overlook like they're on hills, so they overlook the ocean. It's not like in Florida, which is amazing and beautiful, and I love it, but there's no hills except for the dumps, unfortunately. So you don't overlook the ocean. Here, the infinity pools are actually going out into the ocean. It's absolutely amazing and stunning. And so Tricia is now a part of building this, and we are bringing it to the Canadian public by partnering together, C-Suite Network and Investing Cross Borders, as we have done over years. But now at a much higher level. I'm on the Finance Council, which I absolutely love, and thank you for inviting me, Tricia. And it's just a great partnership because we really believe in helping people where they are. So, Tricia, over to you to share a little bit about that.
I think, I have worked across the border, Canada and the US, my whole entire career. And there are so many things that from the Canadian side, you mentioned fear, Lauren, and it's really interesting being American and Canadian because
Yes.
fear is a real motivator in the United States, which is shocking in so many ways. And we're not going to get into a political conversation, but
No, please, no.
absolutely not.
Not a good plan.
But for Canadians to know what's really going on and be able to connect with business leaders that won't lead them astray is so critical. And it's really challenging to have that network that really digs
Trusted.
deep. Yes, the trusted network. And we're now partners with the New York Stock Exchange, and they said recently when they were announcing us as the new big media partner, they said trust is the new currency.
It
And
is.
that has been our tagline in C-Suite Network from the very beginning. So this is 12 years now. The most trusted network. So C-Suite Network, our mandate is just to help great business leaders accelerate their success and help get through to all of those people that are values based in their approach. They're going to serve each of us the way they would want to be served if they were the one needing that service, or that product or whatever it is. So we're constantly on the search and expanding our platform in C-Suite Network to help business leaders and investors see success and avoid those pitfalls and potholes in the road because there are so many. And
Especially across borders, especially.
it's infuriating. In fact,
Like,
I am such a glass half full person, but I'll tell you what, I could I can get furious just thinking about even it's not even the things that are so painfully obvious. All the time I'm quoted, oh, I was trained by this big famous person. And if you look at what that big famous person does is they sell people stuff that they have no business buying. They have no business
ah,
buying and they go bankrupt
yeah.
trying to do the right thing for their business and their communities and their families and so on, and it's ridiculous. So anyway, I wanted to just, I know you know this, Lauren, but I wanted to share with everybody because that is the mission every day, is to sort through what's real, what's not real. What we're so excited about in terms of Roatan is this does create whole new opportunities and a
It does.
community that's going to be an exceptional opportunity for the immediate and down the road and then down the road again. So this is an area that's just absolutely shockingly beautiful, as you said. It's got it's I don't know, you one or two in terms of the diving because the coral
Yeah, I think it's second in the world.
absolutely incredible. And then
Yeah.
what is it, kite surfing, which
Yes.
I have never done. Maybe I'll try. I don't know. That's an
No
if.
time like the present, Tricia.
That's an if you
Just
want.
make sure you have really good insurance.
Yes, I think swimming with the nurse sharks might be more up my alley. Where I can get in and out very quickly.
Right. Or
um,
so you think. No.
exactly, exactly. It's that opportunity to have a place that's very close by. There are major airlines that fly into the island, an opportunity to invest at a time where there are at least another couple of big opportunities. And then what we're seeing in terms of case studies, renting the properties, just phenomenal opportunity for that. So
Investors, right.
yeah.
Yeah, and and what I like, I wish I had this in Florida, is for like $500 or $600 a month, you can have a designated person to look after everything for you, from driving to shopping to cooking. I wish I could, I can't even get somebody for $500 a week in Florida, but it's an amazing opportunity. And The other beautiful thing about Roatan is it's like Aruba 15 or 20 years ago. And
Yeah.
I was first in Aruba, I don't want to say when, but it was a long time ago. I was young. I remember I went to Salt and Pepper, remember them?
Yeah.
Concert. And the next day we went to Aruba. So it was like in the 90s or something. And that was like when Aruba was kind of like Roatan now.
Mhm.
And when you see what's gone on in places like Aruba or other islands like that that have been built up, that's what's happening in Roatan. And the beauty is that Scott and Jeff and the Camp Bay have a huge influence on what's happening in the development there and have, are really building up the island, not just the properties. And the
Yeah.
other thing is it's not like investing in Roatan does not preclude you from investing or getting a visa or moving to the US. It's about a global footprint and having diversification. And you don't want to necessarily put all your eggs in one basket, and you can access an amazing property in Roatan, like a five-star property for how much, Tricia?
Well, less than 500,000.
Exactly.
It's really an extraordinary opportunity. And we have one property that cleared over 230,000 in, a rental, uh,
Per year.
yeah, per year. So the opportunity is extraordinary. And here's the thing, Lauren, and this is why I'm so excited that we're partnered with you, is you need legal counsel. You need to understand what's solid, what's real, what to watch out for, and
Yes.
and that kind of expertise to bring to the table. I'm ecstatic. I haven't even had a chance to tell you this, but my sister and my brother-in-law are definitely going to be part of our conversation next week because
Excellent.
because
Excellent.
that opportunity to understand what is there, what is available, how do you do this is, and that's the other thing is, frequently we think, well, that's somebody else gets to have those kinds of opportunities,
Yeah,
and it's just not true. We just
right.
don't know what we don't know. And so
Tricia, that's exactly the point. Like so many Canadians, especially, think that the only way, for example, to buy real estate or to get a visa or whatever, is if you have at least $1 million hard cash. And that is completely false. Completely. No matter what, we can get financing for you for pretty much anything that you want to buy. Okay, maybe not a $50 million property, but the investments in Roatan, the opportunities in Florida, the opportunities in Arizona, and building that portfolio that's going to give you opportunities going forward. Did you know, I'm sure you do, that Honduras is the second least expensive place to retire in the
yeah,
world?
and a very short, affordable flight, which
Like,
I was shocked. I did not know that. And uh, it's out of the path of all of the hurricane weather. So,
yeah.
so I think 50 years ago, one kind of touched the island a little bit. It's just extraordinary to see how protected it is, and of course how beautiful.
And I think it's the fifth largest cruise port or the fifth most visited cruise port, and that's going to grow and continue to grow. And it's not, I remember when I was in Thailand a lot of years ago, and we went to, I can't remember the name of the place, but we actually had to carry our luggage across this dune to go and stay on a mountain. And since then, it was taken over by a very high-end resort company, but it was very rustic. And that is another great diving place, Thailand. And it
Mhm.
was extremely rustic. And I remember thinking, wow, what's going to happen here? And that's what you get to be a part of. Wow, what's going to happen here? How are we going to participate in helping to roll this out? And, the beauty is that, well, I'm going to address something that's the elephant in the room, I think. But the beauty is that if let's say you decide that you want to get a visa and be in Florida or Arizona or Texas. And by the way, Scott, his dual between Arizona and Roatan, and it's just easy. So let's say you decide you want to do that. We can make that happen for you.
Mhm.
Tricia, a lot of people ask me, actually, I had a gentleman a few weeks ago that said that he used to live in Honduras and left because of the dangerous, like the danger, the level of crime and all of this. But Roatan is protected, right?
Yes, it's an island. many miles away from the mainland of Honduras. So it is a different environment entirely. And again, you mentioned about the port traffic. It is an area I've had many people say, they've been to Cabo many years ago and said, look, this is exactly the way Cabo was years ago. And you mentioned Scott having the MLB background, the athletes, the actors, the various people that are now going to Roatan and seeing that as the place that they want to be and have their, might be a second, third, or fourth home, but
Yes.
absolutely an incredible opportunity.
And another thing about mentioning with the MLB is that there's a lot of retreats. Like yesterday, it so happened I was at a virtual event last night, and I won't say the name of the person, but you know her. And I mentioned Roatan in this event, and she was like, I just today was invited to a retreat in Roatan. And I said, oh, by X? No, but it was just funny because it's really getting up there because of the level of participation, especially from C-Suite Network, because C-Suite Network has all the media channels and all of the opportunities and all of the access of all of the all of the investors. And by the way, I think the first retreat that you did there, what were there five? You had five prospective investors and all five of them bought units, correct?
Exactly. Yes. In fact, one of them is relocating. We're there right now.
Wow. Now you see, they didn't even hear about Roatan before April.
Exactly.
And now they're
Exactly.
moving there because it's so amazing. Um, so listen, at the end of the day, we're going to talk about again next week, building your global footprint, expanding your global footprint, because it's not just North America anymore. We have to diversify. And that's what we at Investing Cross Borders are all about, just like C-Suite, meeting our people, meeting our clients, meeting the needs of people where they are because not everybody wants to just be limited to North America, and well, you should not need to be. So
Right.
this is an opportunity to grow and scale on a very significant international level. And we, as Canadian girls living the American dream, we are here to help make that happen with confidence, with ease, with clarity and success. Because at the end of the day, if you don't have the right partners, you're going to struggle. And we're here to help make sure that that transition, that move, that those opportunities, that those investments are painless and profitable because we want to make your success is truly our success. That's what we live for. That's why we are good friends because we really believe like if I have an issue with somebody, I say, Tricia, blah, blah, blah. We're always of the same mindset. It's so crazy, isn't it?
It's
Like,
it's fantastic. And I love what you say, Lauren, about meeting people where they are. I have a podcast and TV show called C-Suite Success, and it's all about helping people to understand, to find what success is for you. And when you meet people where they are, for some people, Lauren, it may be that they want to fractionally invest, and we're setting up
correct.
a company to be able to fractionally invest, and then that way people can enjoy the space, very much discounted in terms of being able to go when they want to go, and then we rent out the properties in the meantime and take care of that management. So meeting people where we are is so important, and that creates real success, and then
Yes.
that creates so much more because we work with great people who are going to give back to their communities and see success that matters.
That matters and makes a difference and has an impact. And we're here to help make that happen. So we were going to do this for 10 minutes. We, of course, have chatted for 20, but we've done pretty well, I think, all things considered. And Tricia will not be here in person next week, but she will be on Zoom. And her sister and brother-in-law, I think, are going to be here in person. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know if they can come in person. They will
Okay.
definitely be there virtually, but I am actually going to Canada now, as you know, Lauren. So I spent Canada Day in the U.S. and I'm spending July 4th in Canada. And of course, I can't
That's
wait
how it should be. We got to blend our obligations and our commitments and our loyalties and
for
um
opportunities. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
exactly. So
Mhm.
it's great as always chatting with you. I wish you a great trip to Canada. Maybe I'll see you while you're here. And she has to go to Dallas or something, so we're just going to miss each other next week. The dates just didn't coincide. Um, but it's a pleasure, and I'll look forward to helping all kinds of people invest all over the world, but particularly in the US and Roatan. So thank you again, Tricia, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you, Lauren. I
Have a
can't wait
great
to see you
trip.
next week and everybody that's joining us.
Yes. We'll put the link under all of this so that you can register. It will be live, live streamed and in person. So you can choose which one is best for you. Okay, but if you're in the GTA, the Greater Toronto Area, please do join us in person. I think we have about 20 spots left. So thank you. It's a pleasure. All the best. Take care. Bye for now.